Hello and welcome once more to Red Gaming Tech for yet more of your daily gaming news and myself, Amata. Today is the 22nd of November and I'm bringing you a rather interesting and potentially awesome rumour, if it's actually true. There's been an interesting rumour circulating which has originated from IGN, who have claimed multiple sources at Telltale Games, who of course do both The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead, that they might actually be working on a game based on George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones series, which is, of course, Game of Thrones is the name of the TV series, but the name of the series' books is A Song of Ice and Fire. But if it were to actually be a series of games, it would most likely be using the name from the HBO series. That is, of course, if they get relevant permissions from HBO. Now, Telltale like working on licensed IP games, and they did that with The Walking Dead, and of course they've even done Jurassic Park and Back to the Future. And Telltale did actually respond to these comments, but they didn't really respond, and you'll see what I mean in a second. This came from Steve Allison, SVP of Publishing, and he said, quote, "We get these sorts of rumours about what we could be working on next cropping up all the time. Officially, we have no comment." So as I said, he did respond, but that's not really a response. Now, what could be really interesting is that for those of you who have actually read the Song of Ice and Fire books, is that each chapter is from the perspective of a different character, usually the main characters that you know well from the TV series, like Tyrion and Arya, Sansa, Bran, you know, all of those. So that could be really interesting, as they could be do it that as well, as they recently toyed with it during the Walking Dead's 400 Days DLC, with each chapter being from a different character's perspective, and it all sort of weaves together into an overarching story. And of course you get all this backstab and intrigue and secrets, and because, you know, something that one character knows, something another character will not know, because they're halfway across the world from each other. So it could be a really interesting game. I would actually love to see a game based on the Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones. But we may see something soon, whether it's Game of Thrones or not, that Telltale are working on, as Telltale CEO Dan Connors told IGN last month that he can't wait to announce what new IP that they're going to be working on next, and that it has, quote, "a few licenses that definitely fall into our dream IP scenario." Now, of course, there have been a couple of Game of Thrones / Song of Ice and Fire based games, of course, but I would absolutely love to see Telltale tackle it, doing a sort of story point-and-click adventure-based game such as The Wolf Among Us and The Walking Dead. That would be really, really cool. And then you have these different chapters being from the perspective of different characters, or maybe even if you have longer chapters, you could have different sections within the chapter being told from the perspective of different characters, because of course a chapter in a game is a lot longer than a chapter in a book, so you could do it that way. The possibilities are endless, as they say, and to see something like this would be absolutely amazing. A Song of Ice and Fire / Game of Thrones is one of my favourite series of books and one of my favourite TV series, so to see it brought to life by Telltale would be absolutely amazing. So let's hope that this rumour is actually true. Hopefully Telltale will be kind enough to say one way or the other, rather than letting us get our hopes up, but they didn't outright deny it, so there is still hope yet for this particular piece of speculation. Anyway, that is me done for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.